Hi, my name is Julio. I'm here to talk about the Fujifilm X-T1 IR. The Fujifilm X-T1 IR is a full spectrum camera that's been developed to help law enforcement and medical examiners in crime scene and forensic applications. Now with GSR, there are several elements that when you're taking pictures that you can actually reveal information that might not normally be available when just taking general photography. In this first sample, you can see that there's been a gunshot and you can see some powder burns around the entry where the round went in. But now, when we switch over and we shoot in infrared, you can clearly see the powder disbursement that's surrounding the material. So why don't we take this a step further and say, okay, let's do a little testing and see what we get out of it. Here's a sample where there's been two gunshot wounds fired through a material. One was closer than the other. And when we go into the infrared, again, all we used were cut filters and an incandescent light set to 45 degrees, and the camera was set to 90 degrees. This is very huge and time saving when you're being able to shoot evidence. So on the left, you see the gunshot, and then the powder burns are very defined and very close to the entry. On the right is another gunshot, and the powder's been dispersed with a larger array from the actual material. So the first thing we're obviously able to determine is that there's different distances that's been used when we're shooting this gun. But the other thing that you should notice is as we look to the next slide, you'll see a plain material, there is a gunshot wound, but then when we look at it, we're seeing other elements of evidence that we didn't expect before. Those little lines that you're seeing around the round shows that another object actually hit the material. So now not only have we found powder, but now we have reason to believe that something else was in the material. So in this particular case, we were able to determine that it was a shotgun that was used because those lines represent the wad that came out of the barrel when it was being shot. So we were able to determine that the shotgun was about 12 inches away and it hit the material when the rounds came through the actual shirt. In this final sample, you see, again, a black dark material, so you see that there is an entry wound, but you don't see any powder marks, you don't see anything around. But when we go into infrared, the first thing you're going to notice is that there is the hole, and there's light powders, or not very much powder, in a wide array. But if you take a look at the close-up, you can actually see the contact entry from the bullet and be able to determine rifling by the tick marks that are around the entry wound. This is something that you're not going to be able to do with a regular camera without the advantage of a full spectrum sensor to capture the information. We hope the sneak peek we gave you for the Fujifilm X-T1 IR was insightful. For more information, go to fujifilmforensics.com.